what I always get struggling about.
Right.
What colour is nothing?
Right. What colour is nothing?
Because if it was completely white,
Yeah.
white is a colour.
Sure. Although some people might dispute that, but...
Well, white is definitely a colour.
Well, my name's Adrian Moore. I teach philosophy at the University of Oxford. People often ask me what philosophy is or what a philosopher is. And my favourite answer is a philosopher is basically somebody that's never grown up. I think that we spend our time asking the sorts of questions that children like to ask. The commonest being the question why, refusing to take anything for granted and trying to work out what the explanation is for everything. And so this is the first in a series of interviews that I'm doing with young people about philosophy.
I'm Cara Margiotta, and I love philosophy. It's very fun to not do anything boring like math work or just staring at a screen in school. It's very fun to have a quick break about that and do my favourite thing, talking.
Do you think that the universe has been around for an infinite amount of time?
I don't think it's been around for an infinite amount of time, because before the Big Bang, there probably wasn't any planets.
Right, okay.
And then the Big Bang created them all. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, but
That's not infinite.
No, but you used a very interesting expression just now. You said before the Big Bang. Now, what about that? What do you think was going on before the Big Bang?
Well, this is what I think. I think there was nothing.
Nothing at all?
This is what I always get struggling about.
Right.
What colour is nothing?
Right. What colour is nothing?
Because if it was completely white,
Yeah.
white is a colour.
Sure. Although some people might dispute that, but
Well, white is definitely a colour.
well, we can call it a colour for these purposes, can't we? Yeah.
And black is a colour. So
Right.
what's it going to be? Rainbow land, and merging all those colours together makes it nothing.
But why should it have any colour at all? Why can't there be nothing with no colour?
Because nothing means nothing, not even nothing.
Right.
And colour is something.
Right, okay. So before the Big Bang, maybe there was nothing and no colours?
Well, what would no colours be?
Well, what colour is the number 3?
Matters how you think about it. Some people, when they think of a number or letter, they immediately imagine a colour. Like for me, 3 is yellow.
Well, okay. So you associate the number 3 with the colour yellow.
Yes.
And maybe there's a good reason for that. Maybe when you were a little child, you had a toy that had...
for every letter and every number,
Right.
I have a number for it. No, colour
colour
for
for
it.
every... Right, okay. But that's just you, isn't it? I mean, somebody else, you say the number 3 to them and they think of the colour red.
I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. I'm sure there'll be one person with the same view as me.
But if somebody else associates red with the number 3, and by the way, I do.
Sorry, but I could never think of 3 with red.
But do you think... okay, so do you think I'm wrong?
No, you can't be wrong because that's what you think.
Right, okay.
What you think.
But isn't the best thing to say... I mean, we can associate colours with numbers, but isn't the best thing to say that the number 3 has no colour?
Well, that would still be no colour. Then you'd write it as black and then I'd be like, well, that's black.
Right, but not even black. No colour at all. How about that?
Well, I don't really know. It's unlikely it's see-through, and when you write it down, you don't actually write it, and you can just see the paper, and you'll be like, see, no colour, it's see-through.
But it's not the sort of thing that you can even see through, is it? You don't. Can you pick up the number 3?
No, you can't pick up the number 3
Right.
unless you make a large cardboard cutout,
Right.
and then just hold it in your hand and say, I'm holding number 3.
you can call it the number 3, can't you? And you might even draw a figure 3 on it. But that isn't actually the number 3, is it?
That's what I kind of wonder about. What's the number 3?
What is the number 3?
Like the first thing, like maybe I know cavemen would have said this in another language or something, or maybe in Latin. I know they wouldn't have figured it out by then, but
No, probably not.
Caveman
No,
language.
cave language.
they come over and see 3 rocks on the ground. Let's say rocks, because I don't know what they would have said.
Okay.
And they say something like, let's say moo is
Right.
3 in caveman.
Okay.
And they're like moo.
Right, okay, yeah. Well, that is probably how it started, isn't it? A bit like that.
That would
Counting
be. Then
rocks.
those rocks would be the 3, the first 3, the first trio.
The first time that anybody ever counted to 3.
Yeah.
The first caveman who came along and said, I don't know, flop, moo. And moo was their word for 3. But yeah, maybe. Let's go back to the Big Bang. So you're not sure what to say about what was going on before the Big Bang?
Yeah, so basically, for 3 I said see through. But the thing about nothing,
Yeah.
nothing at all, well, the 3, you could still see the paper behind. But with C3, there wouldn't be anything to see through.
Exactly.
Because you'd be just seeing through forever.
I mean, not only is there nothing to see through, but there's nothing to see on the other side. I mean, was there even time before the Big Bang?
I think there would be time.
You think
because
so?
the Big Bang, I don't think the Big Bang could come along and invent something like time. Well, I don't think there's anything to really count the time or anything like that. But there still is it.
It's weird, isn't it, the Big Bang? Really weird. I mean, I don't understand. I'm not a scientist. Perhaps you're not a scientist. Do you like science?
I do quite like science. When until I was 8, I wanted to be a scientist.
Oh, did you?
Then I went on to the author, actor, cat scuba diving,
Right,
teller
okay.
idea.
But you do like science.
Yeah, quite a lot. It's really fun.
But this is weird, isn't it, this idea of a Big Bang? Because don't you find yourself thinking there must have been some reason for it? I mean, why would there just be a Big Bang out of nowhere?
Well, it might not have been out of nowhere, because stars might have been a thing. And there's this really big star, like 3,000, infinity of the sun, just with an ending. And it's just that big.
Right.
And then one day this star exploded, like some stars do.
Okay.
It just went boosh.
Okay.
That might be the Big Bang, and little bits of the star became planets. I don't believe that's true, but that might be something that could have happened. Like the inside of stars might be little things that could become planets if they were big enough.
But maybe, are you suggesting that if we went back in time before the Big Bang, maybe there was something beforehand? Maybe this huge great star collapsed in on itself and there was a big explosion and that was the Big Bang, something like that?
Maybe one portal not portal. Sorry, I keep on calling black holes portals today.
Okay.
Maybe one black hole sucked another one in.
Right.
They sucked each other up, and that was a Big Bang.
And then so
And all these stars in it, they'd probably have moulded in there. So, and all the pointy bits or anything that is on a star came off, and now they're just balls.
okay.
And then when all of them that are inside this portal, they get released.
Right.
And then those become the planets.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Maybe. But you can then ask the question, where did all of that come from? Can't you? I mean, so maybe we go back even further and we find there was another Big Bang.
Yeah, just a tiny bang, like
Or
the tiny
or a
bang.
tiny bang.
I can see that in lights now.
A tiny bang. But do you think that if we keep going back, we'd find that we were going back forever? This is infinity again.
I think we'd be going back for ages, but there must have been something that caused the universe.
Well, must there? I suppose this is the big question,
Because
isn't it?
Because how would there just be a gigantic load of black? Well, it's just getting very confusing now.
It is, isn't it?
Because no, right now I'm thinking that I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I'm thinking the universe is in a big snow globe. I know that's not true.
No,
but
well,
I'm getting the emotion that it is.
but you're also telling me that you think there must have been something to cause it.
Yeah, like maybe there was an ultra massive bang that caused the universe. The tiny bang, yes, I can still see that in lights.
Okay.
That caused portals, not black holes, and
yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
And then there was the Big Bang, PS a medium bang out of all of these now, that caused planets and humans.
Right.
And maybe other aliens in the world.
But does the whole thing have to have some reason or some cause?
It's got to have something. Maybe it just happened. Something's happened.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible that it just happened, as you say?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of any examples where something just happens that happens to cause something else. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's still not a bad thing.
I mean, as you know, some people would start talking about God at this point, wouldn't they? But you don't want to talk about God at this point.
I want to talk about the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh, the flying spaghetti monster. What's the flying spaghetti monster?
Some atheists
Yeah.
came around and they said to some Christians, I believe in the flying spaghetti god.
Okay.
These Christians said, no, you can't. That's not a real god. And then these atheists said, prove it.
Right.
And then apparently, from what I've heard from my father,
Uh-huh.
it actually became a religion. And to show that you are a flying spaghetti god follower,
Okay.
you wear a sieve on your head for your passport photo.
Right, okay. And this is, and they're deliberately being silly, are they?
Kind of silly, but kind of like proving anything could make a god a god. Because it could have been the same as God. Someone came around to some people and said, I know, I'm going to make a new thing called a god.
Okay.
His name will be God. And I'm going to believe in it, and it will be called a religion.
Okay.
And then those people said, what's a religion? That
Right.
couldn't be a thing.
Right.
You can't just make up things. And then this person who started believing in God said, prove it. And then he wrote the Bible, which carried on and on. And then to this day, millions of people are Christians. So from that one person saying there is a God, there's now millions of people believing it. I don't believe in Jesus or anything like that, but there could be. There's no proof that it's not, but there's no proof that it is.
You don't think we can prove it one way or the other?
Yeah, because apparently God is most pictures. I know the pictures aren't true, but if all the pictures show him as a human, if he created humans, that wouldn't make sense. Because if I worked at a teddy shop and I was about to invent it, I wouldn't make tiny teddies that walked around in the shape of myself, just with different hair and different clothing. I'd probably make something brand new, something with 6 heads and 5 eyes.
Right. Just to show how creative you are.
Not just to show that, but to make something new.
Right.
Some things, the same old things, are just boring.
Okay. But I'm sorry to keep going back to the same thing, but you did say, didn't you, that the universe must have some explanation or some cause?
Yeah, it's kind of getting a bit confusing for me now. Because every time I imagine how big the universe is, it just like Google Maps. When you zoom out, you keep zooming out,
Yeah.
but then it starts to glitch around the corners and goes all white and fizzy.
Right.
And then that's what I'm just imagining about the universe right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been in the car for 2 hours with glitchy Google Maps. I'm not surprised.
Okay. Well, Google Maps, they're probably not helping for this particular.
Yeah, and they still forgot to put houses on where the new houses are.